Hi, I'm Phoebe Chong-Chua. You're watching The Plant-Based Diet. Coming up, we have a real treat. We head to Valley Center to explore the Center for Living in Harmony. Also, you've heard of it, but how does it really impact you? We take a look at gluten sensitivity and give you some tips for eating gluten-free. Plus, we help keep you fit, all in this edition of The Plant-Based Diet. Incredibly soft.
Much healthier than any chicken farm, where conventional eggs come from. And a lot of those chickens are very ill with so many different
For a city girl, this is one of my favorite things. Being able to come out to the country and simply pick your fruit. This place is amazing.
Thank you.
What are we going to see today?
We're going to walk around in nature and learn how to live sustainably, naturally, and be self-reliant and healthy. At the Center for Living in Harmony, we teach how to be in harmony with oneself, others, and the planet.
Waking up here, tell me what it's like when you wake up to all of this. It's incredible.
It's pure joy. It's pure joy and happiness, and breathing the air here, you feel healthy, and the fact is you really are. And when I have retreatants come and stay, everyone wakes up with this perma-smile on their face, and they really don't know why, but it's the energy of being in the natural environment. So Phoebe, we are at the campsite area now, and we have 6 campsites under development. At the last volunteer day project that we had, we were able to put these 3 campsites together, and then the 3 campsites where we're standing now will be created and finished at the next volunteer day. We pop up the tents, and we have picnic tables, and we're going to build a little fire pit here in the center, and then we'll have healing retreats for up to a week at a time.
Aww. Someone told me about the eggs that the coloring of the eggs actually is representative of how healthy the egg is.
Absolutely.
Whether there's spots on it.
Right, so not so much the shell, but the yolk. The yolk is the clear determining factor of how much lecithin there is in the egg, and the darker, the richer the color of the yolk is, the more nutrients it has. Conventional eggs grown in conventional chicken farms are not only fertile, but they're also contaminated with whatever illness the chickens may have, anything, and then are treated with out-of-date antibiotics. They're given GMO grains and food that has been rated with pesticides and herbicides. So the end result is an egg that is containing all of those same conventional chemicals and toxic ingredients, including being fertile. These little fuzzy chickens, they come from the cold regions, the Andes Mountains in South America and Chile, and they have a much finer feather. They grow feathers all over their face where you can barely see their eyes or beak, just to keep them warm. This is returning to our true nature as human beings, as creation animals of this planet, and there are so many different studies and ancient medicinal practices that prove that even walking barefoot in the soil is how you can nourish your body by picking up the minerals from the ground, the free radicals from the grass as you walk over it. So it's not only a physical healing and sense of being, but it's the energy that you feel in your body, the peace of mind that you have, and it just resonates with the truth of your soul.
This is fun. We're about ready to harvest avocados, one of my favorite fruits.
That's right. Most people think it is a vegetable.
That's right. I knew she thought she was going to catch me on that one, but I studied up this time. All right, what do we do?
Okay, Phoebe, so just put your hand up towards the top of the avocado, your thumb on the stem, and you want to push the stem with your thumb. There you go. Pop it off.
Got it.
And what we're looking at here is the water well and well system, which just started. And just beyond that is the solar panel field, which we need to update as well. We're about 50% to being totally self-reliant. At one time, the farm was 100%, basically what they're now calling off the grid. But since then, in the last 30 years, the technology for the solar panel field has improved so much, and Ours are now not functioning, so we still have to rely on external power. As a nonprofit education center, we're completely supported by sponsors, donors, and volunteers, so that's what we're looking for, is that kind of help.
We're in the greenhouse.
This is the greenhouse. It needs a little more love to put it back together because a hailstorm took out the roof about 5 years ago. But we use the greenhouse to start seedlings and for propagation and classes.
And all around, just amazing plants that you use for making salads and your meals here.
Everything is, it's considered a edible landscape. We are going to make a fresh farm-to-table salad using all of the delicious fruits, vegetables, and herbs from the farm. And we have pre-chopped all of our vegetables. We have sorrel, arugula, green lettuce, fresh basil, spinach, and we have beets, carrots, radishes, some sauerkraut or fermented cabbage, fresh green peas, sweet peas. We have in here also some beet greens, kumquat, and avocado. And then we also whipped up an avocado and herb dressing, which includes cilantro, which then also turns into coriander, same plant, a little bit of rosemary and some lavender with lemon juice and garlic. And then we added some unfiltered organic olive oil, Bragg's liquid aminos, and bamboo salt. Now we're going to put this all together and serve it up on some plates. Okay, so you want to kind of mix it all, toss it a little bit, or you can put it on the side. There's a beautiful color of display here with all the different veggies. And I learned once that every vegetable and every fruit, based on the color of it and the shape and the way it looks, represents how it gives nutrients and nutrition to your body. So, for example, carrots with the carotene. The beets are great for your blood and your lymph systems, as they are red and so is our blood. And all of the greens here also contain a very high nutritional index. And here is our fresh garden salad. Bon appetit.
Oh, good.
I feel at such peace when I'm here. It's just an amazing feeling to be connecting with nature, and that's really what our ultimate goal is to bring people back to the truth of their well-being and their health. And our mission statement pretty much says it all, that we're teaching people how to be and live in harmony with oneself, with others, and our planet.
Hi, I'm Nicole Decker with Gut Check Fitness. Here we go. We're going to do a little exercise. I want you to get off your rear ends and join me. This is called a superstar. You're going to start in a lunge position. You're coming down. Knee comes all the way down. If you can, progression number 1 is just a switch. Progression number 2 is a jump. So you're coming up, big jump up, and then you add height and those arms, big all the way up and all the way down. There you go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Let's do 5 more. Here's 5 and 4. Come on. And 3. How high can you go? 2 and 1. Woo! Hope you enjoyed that.
Gluten-free right there.
Either I have the most extreme allergy or I'm celiac. My doctor diagnosed me with IBS. I haven't had IBS in 3 years. I was so sick. I was chronically fatigued. I was flu symptoms. It was just a miserable experience. And every time I tried to see if I could get away with it again, I couldn't, and I got sicker and sicker.
From physically fit to internally fit, how what some people put in their mouths is affecting their health. We head to the Gluten-Free Expo in San Diego to learn a little more about celiac disease and gluten sensitivity.
Well, I think we pretty much know the mechanisms that result in celiac disease. We don't know all the contributing factors, but we have a pretty clear idea of the nature of the immune reaction and the varying points that one could intersect to try and get rid of that immune reaction.
Eventually, to the point I was so malnourished that I was losing weight, passing out, bedridden for several months, and finally at age 20 I was diagnosed through a blood test.
The terms of the gluten sensitivity, I think that's become really appreciated in the last few years, but it's very different than celiac disease in that it's not an autoimmune disease. It doesn't result in damage to the small intestinal bowel, the lining, and there's really no organic structural counterpart that we find. So it falls in a group of disorders like irritable bowel syndrome in the large bowel. This is a condition that affects people when they eat gluten, and we don't know what it causes, and it's not going to be easy to find a cause. But there are probably about 5 or 6 people with gluten sensitivity for every patient that has celiac disease. And since celiac disease occurs in 1% of the population, there's probably 5 or 6% of the population has some sort of symptoms when they ingest gluten. Whether it's the gluten or not, we don't know, but when they get rid of gluten out of the diet and whatever else goes along with gluten, a lot of these people feel better.
It actually does affect them that way. It affected me that way too. I had brain fog severe when I ate gluten. It does act as an opiate in the body.
And like just causing you to want more and more?
It can be very addictive. In fact, a lot of the baked goods and things like that out there that are that have gluten in them are very addictive.
Or I like to call it totally white bread because it is just totally white bread. You can make sandwiches for your kids and it's not going to fall apart. And of course, as an adult, you're going to love it. It's sweetened with honey, so it's not too sweet, but it's real bread. It will not fall apart. You do not have to toast it.
Really?
Yes, it is real bread. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Marie Fang with your healthy food tips for the plantbaseddiet.com. Now I know when you first decide to go gluten-free, it can be really difficult to figure out what foods you should be eating. You know, you can walk into the grocery store and feel really overwhelmed by what food to pick. So I know for myself how hard it can be because I was diagnosed with celiac disease 5 years ago. So I'm here to bring you 5 staple foods for you to include in your diet when you're first going gluten-free. Now, my first staple food is to make sure you include lots of fruits and vegetables. Get as many different colors as you can and many different types as you can. Fill up as much as possible on fruits and vegetables. My second staple for you is whole grains. Now, just because you're gluten-free doesn't mean that you have to give up whole grain food. I really recommend quinoa as a primary whole grain food, and you can also include other grains like rice and millet. Now, my third staple is legumes. Legumes are so yummy. It includes foods like beans, peas, lentils. Yum. Now, my fourth staple are leafy greens. Leafy greens are their own staple because they're so valuable to your diet. They include foods like kale and spinach and other really dark green leaves. You want to look for that dark green color, and it's going to have more nutrients in it. Now, my final staple is high-fat whole foods. You want just a little bit of high-fat foods in your diet because your body does need to digest some good fats. So this includes foods like avocados, olives, and nuts. So hopefully with these 5 staples, you'll be able to transition into going gluten-free. I'm Marie Fang with theplantbaseddiet.com. Thanks for watching.
I'm Phoebe Chongchua. Thanks for watching The Plant-Based Diet. If you like our show, then help us grow. Visit us online at theplantbaseddiet.com or facebook.com/theplantbaseddiet and on Twitter @EatPlantBased. Find our other shows and subscribe to us on youtube.com/LiveFit Magazine. And remember to stay healthy and lean, keep it mostly green. We'll see you next time.